Hello, everyone. Patriot 5 here, along with Patriot 6, and over my left shoulder, Patriot Small Hank, or Patriot Martial Arts. Get in there. There he is. Okay. I was going to have him come up when I talked about him, but since he wanted to come up and wave to you right now, as you guys can probably hear in my voice, I'm not normal tonight. I'm fighting a sore throat with a very bad head cold or allergies, whatever it is. I mean, they've only taken out thousands of acres of corn here, beans here, and with the fires that we've had in the fields and that, I mean, we've been hit every way we can possibly hit. I'm going to go as long as I can with what I have. If I can't make it, I'll just end the show, but I wanted to come on and talk, say a few things. I do have a glass of water here. So I'm gonna say the pledge, and then I'm going to play the music, and then we will get on with the kids' version of the show and then get into the show. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, oh, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, oh, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'd rather stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless this country. And I'm proud to be an American.
Didn't recognize the guy because he's got the outfit.
Next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land.
Hey.
God bless you.
Yes, God bless the USA. Proud to be an American. Let me get rid of that. and we'll get to where we need to be. Okay, for the kids, Super Jimmy, I got a very nice message yesterday from your dad, and I hope and pray that what he said comes true. I hope everything goes quick. But guys, Jim told me something about Renee when we lost her. And I can understand why the kids are struggling so much, why Jimmy's struggling so much. To lose a loved one is never good. And I can understand why, but now that I know the whole story, the doctor didn't just not read the chart. She also made the statement she didn't care one way or another about Renee. It was a prejudice thing. How can we have doctors in the world that judge you by your nationality, the color of your skin? Wow. That one really hit me like a brick shit house. And I'm sorry, kids. I mean, you're old enough to know what them are. But when he told me that, and he, you know, I've known this all along from day one when he first talked to me. But, you know, Jimmy, your daddy told me some information the other day. And this makes the whole situation. You know, there's people that are really bad in this world. But see, Renee wasn't the only one that died that day. Renee was 4 months pregnant that they didn't even know about. Jimmy's dad and the kids, none of them knew that mommy was pregnant. So I was talking to Jim, Renee's husband, and he said having to see pictures of his little daughter really hurt. And yeah, it would be terrible. But maybe that was God's way of easing the pain of Renee leaving us to take her little girl with her so she's not alone in heaven. And I don't know what you guys feel about that, but that's my feelings. So when you guys go to bed tonight, just keep the family in your prayers, and just prayers will help them heal. And I don't usually do a sad kids program like this, but I said something to Jim about, can I talk about it on the show? And he said yes. He doesn't want to hide anything from our Patriot family. So we wish him nothing but the best. We hope his lawyers, I hope this lady, this doctor, truthfully, I wish she lived in a state that had the penalty that, you know, she can no longer be with us. I don't know if she does. But if she ever treats another patient again, oh, the hospital knew about this. I mean, this is terrible. So Jimmy was with lots of love, and that we all pray for your family. And remember, they say God only gives you what you can handle. I know sometimes I think my plate is overflowing, but he only gives you what we can handle. So you're going to come out of this stronger than what you went in, because you're going to make your mommy, your dad's going to make his wife, and the rest of the kids are going to make mommy proud of them. Patriot 11, I'd like to hear from you, but you know, you being back at school and grandma not coming around, I just would like to know if you got to ride that new horse. Patriot Karate Kid and Patriot Wyatt Earp. Karate Kid, I went last night to martial arts. I call it karate or kung fu, but I only do that to get small Hank going. Because when I said, karate or whatever, he went in the background. But I tease him all the time, but he's improved a lot. Got his butt kicked in 2 matches, but you have to take into consideration he got his butt kicked in 2 matches. But in his belt area, there was only one other kid there in the green belt. The other 2 kids were different color belt. The other 2 kids were different color belts higher up. So they're older. They're older and they know more. Well, the one that was in his class had a sty on her eye and had to go home. And
What?
it really kind of made me happy when she had to go home because I didn't want to see my grandson get his butt kicked by that little girl. I got talking to the sensei last night and I told him that, and I didn't think he was ever going to quit laughing. When the mom and dad left with the little girl, I said, "Thank you." I told him, the little girl is really good. Kung fu, karate, martial arts, whatever you want to call it. I always say, and I know,
Call martial arts.
I know Jason didn't hear the instructor last night because he was being goofy on the mat. But something was said, and about 4 of the kids paid no attention. And all of a sudden, the instructor goes, "Hey, you look up here at me. You always look at my eyes." And that's what you tell these. Go back to Karate Kid, guys. Everyone here, Tony and David and Papa G, Bill, Beth, Cindy, and all of you have probably watched the movie Karate Kid. And what did Mr. Miyagi always tell them? Always look eye. Because if you see the eye, you can see where their attack's coming from. But these kids want to, if a kid's in a match and he's doing they would do circles, kicks, as they're running away from the opponent.
Inside to outside.
But he has improved so much, and I'm really proud of him. But I have to tease him also. Patriot Princess, our queen, and Patriot Hunter. I'm still waiting for Grandma to send me and Ron some cookies, but I think that ship has sailed.
She's too busy.
Huh?
She's too busy being on YouTube making.
Why did I
So,
Why did I throw copy?
Patriots, 4 Bs, Bugs, Boogaloo, Boogaroo, and Boogie. I think I'm getting them right, John. When I call them the 4 Bs, and it gives me that moment just to recuperate their names. I have no idea if Mom gets pregnant again, what are you going to name that one, John? I'm sure you'll come up with something. Because my brother Russ, he had 5 daughters. The first one was Alicia, Alicia. The next one was Trisha, Tricia. The next one was Tasha, Tascia. And I'm thinking, when they got pregnant and we found out it was another girl, what are they going to come up with? Well, they come up with Janisha, Janicia. Okay. A few years passed and they got pregnant with number 5. What are you going to do there? Denisha, Danica. So, John, I understand your Bugs, Boogaloo, Boogaroo, and Boogie. But I hope it never gets to an age where you call them that and they say, I'm not that anymore, Grandpa. I seen my brother Russ with his granddaughter one day, and he used to have a nickname for her. And one day she looked and said, I'm 11 years old. I don't want to be called that. I mean, I just watched the breast come out of my brother. I mean, that's all he knew her as. I kind of heard it. I didn't get to talk to her that day, but went to a couple events after that in family. And she treated her grandpa really bad. And I walked up to her and I says, what's your problem? And she goes, what do you mean? I said, what's your problem? She goes, what do you mean? I said, you may think you're grown up, but you're 11 years old. You're not grown up. And see that guy right there? Yeah. And I pointed at my brother, her grandpa. I said, you see that man right there? And she said, yeah. I said, well, that man right there is going to be with you for as long as God will allow him to be. These girls here that you're hanging out with, that you think you're with the super girls class, they'll leave you if someone else will buy them another slice of pizza or something. I said, he will be with you forever and ever and ever, as long as God. And even after God takes him home, he'll still be there. And I looked and I said, whoa, she got tears in her eyes. But you know what? It worked, because 5 minutes later, she was up hugging her grandpa. And now they get along great again. Kids go through these stages. That's why the oldest one, John, I'm hoping she's not like that. You know. Patriot Little Leona and Little Elan, two of the cutest little girls I've ever seen in my life. And then we got Patriot Super Gymnast, who I've only been getting to see her about once a week every time Liam plays football. But at his last game, we really had a lot of fun together. And I told you the other day on the show how Liam's team beat the team from Moments. That was the team that in a baseball tournament, they beat us twice to eliminate us, and they kind of made fun of us. Well, we got our redemption because a lot of the players on the football team was on the baseball team too, and a lot of the kids didn't realize what had happened. And I said, you guys do know that that's the team that beat you. Well, my granddaughter, Super Gymnast, is standing over there saying, hey, Moments, can you see this? It's an L, and then she figured it like this. You put two L's together like that, and it's a W. You got the L, we got the W. And I've never seen her so elated, so happy for her brother to have a win in a sports event, because she gave up soccer and the sports that she was playing to go into gymnastics. Well, there's no glory there. They don't have no events that we can go and watch right now at her age. But she has improved so much. And then Patriot 7, I've already talked to you about his game, and he did very, very well. The number one running back was back, but the number one running back come and said, hey, we're getting a chance to play in a Super Bowl because you, Liam, you filled my shoes while I was gone. And he did. I mean, you, with the two running backs that ran when this kid got hurt. I mean, because this kid was really good. But then even in our win the other day, 6-0, it was still a situation where the kid couldn't go that long because he was just coming back from injury. And Liam and the other young boy, they filled in, and Liam really got the 2 first downs for the team right at the end of the game that clinched the game, that only give the team one play with 2 seconds to go. And then the center got so excited. He hiked the ball before the quarterback was ready. It went off his chest to the ground. The kid jumped on it. But, you know, in that league, once you jump on the ball, they had no timeout, so they didn't even get to really run a play. I've already talked to you about small hankies over here on this switch or his witch or something.
It's called a switch.
It's a switch. And I figured I'd let him be on that while I'm on the show to keep him quiet because he didn't take his chill pill again today. But he's doing okay. Little monkey, when I see her Saturday, she'll run up to me and say, jump in my arms, give me a hug, and she'll say, I love you, Grandpa. And I'll tell her the same back to her. And then she'll say, you got any money? Can we go to the concession stand? And she usually wins.
Kira,
It started to rain in the game the other day, and she wanted to go to the concession stand. I don't melt when little rain gets on me, so I took off, and we're walking in the rain, and we started to sing, so she started yelling, laughing at me. So, Grandpa, is this singing in the rain? And I said, yeah. Her mom yelled and said, get back here. And we acted like we didn't hear them. We got back we made sure we bought Patriots Super Gymnast something. We got back and she said something. Her mom said, why would you walk in the rain? I says, why are you guys so worried? It was a little sprinkle. I said, I'll tell you the truth. The reason I'm walking in the rain is because, number one, she wanted to go. And number two, I didn't take a shower today. So now you guys can't tell me I stink. Hey, John, good to see you. Hey, Annie, Russ. Janet, have I talked to you yet?
Nope.
Hi, Janet. David Duffy's here. Bill Woods. Some of you I might mention twice.
Papa G's here.
For the new, I mentioned Papa G. For the new people, it's here. You can probably hear it in my voice.
I hope this will.
I have a sore throat, very bad cold or allergies, whatever it is. But we're going to try to get through this. I mean, we already did 21 minutes, but that pretty much concludes everything for the kids. Everything for the kids tonight. Kids, as I tell you in every show, this video is not made for you, but you can watch it as long as a parent, grandparent, or legal guardian says you can watch it. So, Small Hank, you can listen to this tonight and watch it.
Yes?
Just sit back.
Okay.
I give him permission, and like I said, he hasn't had his chill pill, so hopefully we'll get through this. So you can watch it under the discretion of them people giving you permission. Here we go again. I hope we don't lose it again. Oh, something just jumped on my screen. I thought we were going to lose it. Oh, Lynn, Papa G. Cindy, good to see you. Cindy, how you feeling? Myrna's here. So, lots of wrenches tonight. Small Hank doesn't have school tomorrow.
Yeah.
Then I got to take him to the babysitter and go through another grandpa situation. And what I mean by that, I'll go see little Kira because she's at the babysitter. But for some reason, my son and daughter-in-law wanted her to stay at the babysitter the whole week, not stay with grandpa. I don't know. But I don't know a lot of things, so I'm not going to get all chirped up. But I did say that I had completed, but I had not talked about Kira yet. Because when I went to take and pick up Small Hank the other night to come home for the 3 days of school, she wanted to go too. And, it's really hard when your almost 3-year-old granddaughter stands there and cries that she wants to go home with grandpa, but she can't go because mom and dad said they wanted her there.
Mom would be the best for the lost kids.
So that does conclude it now. The music that we played tonight, we have absolutely no right to. We do it for entertainment purposes only. And if I use anything in the show, it's for knowledgeable events, things that's going to happen, and I just use it just to
That looks good for lost
to move
kids.
forward.
Rose.
So
Stop still. Please don't.
can't do it.
I hope I don't.
I had something here I wanted to read that Diane sent, but
Happy.
Let me try it one more
I'm
time.
so sorry that we are heading to the Lost Kingdom. Don't ask me why I said sorry.
Okay. Hey, zip it. Diana sent something for Ginger, and I was going to read it there, but that's okay because I think I sent it over myself. But before I get to that, I was on Patriot Princess's site today, and there was a picture of this boat. And this boat was a Valhalla, Vahalla boat, works with the letter V, 5, and in gematria, that's 299. I love you with all my heart is 299. Something special coming is 299. Booms en route tomorrow is 299. And it says for sale is 76. Jeremy 76. I don't know who Jeremy is.
Jeremy.
Then V, that just the V is 22. Patriot Princess is 202. I didn't understand that one either, but it also said, instead of the whole thing, it said Valhalla Boat Works 193. You know who I am 193. So that was just something I wanted to share, put it out there. So this is what Patriot Diane had sent to Ron and to me, but when I opened it earlier, I could get in, but when I tried to open it now, I couldn't. The quantum financial system is no longer just a guess. It is a working system that is quietly changing the foundation of the world economy. It replaces the time of the fiat illusion with real value backed by gold, silver, and platinum. It does this by using quantum encryptions and assist verifications. Banks that used to, I hate when this happens. Banks that used to do well by betting on things are now going out of business as the world order falls apart due to its own lies. Only institutions that follow Basel IV rules can still connect to the QFS grid. On this grid, digital wallets linked to verified identities changed the meaning of financial sovereignty. What used to be a theory is now living system that is already in motion, guided by accuracy and honesty. The change marks a shift on earth from promises written on paper to record a value that can't be changed. People are getting rid of fiat currencies like the dollar, euro, and pound because they have been manipulated for decades, which has hurt their credibility. Quantum encryptions making the quantum accountability by making sure that no transactions can be hidden or changed. Currency revaluations are happening, which means that the true worth of money will be based on goods and services, not speculation. The systems runs on its own, and its agriculture is safe from the human interference. A technological exorcism wipes out the corruption that long ruled. The QFS will be open. This is the part you might want to listen. The QFS will be open to the public again on Tuesday, November 11th, 2025. Orient Shield, the Quantum Fraud Detection Network, that timestamps, verifies, and archives every movement of wealth in real time and will send community restoration credits directly to the verified participants. Each wallet is tied to its owner's biometric signature, which guarantees full ownership and the protection against theft, tampering. This event is not a charity, It is in return of a stolen value to its rightful owners through open redistribution. At the same time as the change, the special beds, a healing technology, enters phase 3 deployment, which is directly linked to the QFA verification. This advanced quantum medical system will only be available to the verified citizens. It will combine health, finance, and a secure system. Starting in November, the required one-time biometric handshake will finish activating wallets, connecting people, and giving everyone equal access to their global wealth. The noise of election scandals and false alarms hides a bigger truth. The old financial world is coming to an end. Order is born again, and behind the chaos through codes, discipline, and accuracy. The quantum financial system is not promised for the future. It is a structure that is already alive and growing in real time. The message is clear. Stay alert and strong. The new age has begun, and the base is unbreakable. So that's a lot for me to read. I know I struggled. I felt like I read worse tonight than I have for a long, long time. But one of the things I got out of that, guys, you're going to go to a redemption center, whether you got currency or a bank. You're going to go someplace and they're going to set everything up. Everything is set up. They'll get you all set up with your biometric, everything. Once this happens, you're the only one that has any control of your money. There will be no more of this hiding. If you go to send money, it's going to go just like this. You know, it's funny because it used to, I want to transfer $3,000 out of my account. I want to transfer it to this account here. Transfer from one bank to another should go boom like that. Like it's going to go for us now. But no, you know, and I'm saying 3,000, it could be 30,000, 300,000. The bigger ones, the longer it took because it's got to go through this and it's got to go through this and it's got to go through this. And no, it didn't have to go through that. It can went just like that. But what happens here is the banks would take this money, this $30,000, and they'd lend it out to people on short-term loans, and they'd make money off of while you're waiting to get the money to your people. They was corrupt as corrupt could be. Also in there, you heard about the special beds. Well, here's one thing I want to tell you about the special beds. There's an awful lot of hoopla. There's an awful lot of hoopla going on about these beds. These beds that people are saying, we've got to do this, we've got to do that. You have to buy your card, and I've even seen, which I'm considering AI videos with a hat, talking about the beds, saying how, and am I shouting? Saying how everything is great. It's all ready. It's going to be unleashed very soon, which November 11th is what I'm hearing. It's already being used, guys. These beds are already being used for the people who really, really need them, for the children, for the veterans. And I'm going to add one more in there for the friends of people who have people. And as much as the hat wants to sit here and say, we're going to go to a democracy, we're going to go to a way of doing things that everyone will be treated equal, it will never get that way until someone like Russ Kaiser or Papa G or John or myself get in and we're in charge of things and we know how it has to work like that. I love what's happening. I believe in what's happening. But in my honest opinion, I don't think we'll ever see 100% everybody treated equal. And I'm going to say that, and I'm going to read this now. Because Linda had sent me this. Big Daddy just said on his video, T4B is being activated behind closed doors in Texas, Florida, and she thought it was Ohio. That's what I had heard. And also activated in other areas. Hope this info interests you. I tried to listen to Big Daddy. Linda, if you're on, I sent you a message. Our internet was screwed up today and I couldn't get it on. I will listen to it tonight. But I've heard this from other people. Big Daddy is taking, in that case, news that I heard 2 days ago. And he's very good. I like watching him. But sometimes he's a little behind in the times with his messages. And I don't understand why, because he does them every day. Sometimes he does 2 or 3. And but when I read the 3 states, Texas, Florida, and Ohio. Well, you knew Florida was going to be in there because where does the hat live? And you know, the guy who used to play Jack Tripper on Three's Company, you know, he's doing a good job as a governor. But no, I shouldn't have said that. But I don't understand if you can start the 4B in 3 big states, why can't you start them in all? Now, as I told Linda in my letter back to her today, I expect Illinois to be one of the last ones to open up because everybody's got it in for Illinois. But you know, if I've really been enjoying going to TikTok here recently because there's been a lot of people posting little videos. And the videos consist of, and I mean, there's a lot of these on there. The videos consist of, I live in Illinois. And when I live in Illinois, if that offends you, I don't care. Yes, we have a terrible governor. Yes, Chicago has a terrible mayor. And them two together, you know, they're making Illinois look really bad. But there's a lot more. If you look at Illinois, it's a very long state. It's a very long state. She says she lives in central Illinois. People are chiming in from southern Illinois, eastern Illinois, western Illinois, and they're chiming in with, yes, we love our state. The whole thing about Illinois could become one of the greatest states if the hat would just make Chicago a state of its own. Just make them a state of their own. Let Illinois go. Do you know, I don't know if there's truth to this, but I heard outside of Chicago that the hat carried 77 or 78% of the votes. Guys, I live in central Illinois. When he was running the first time in 2016, no, this second time in 2020, little Liam, Ella, we would go for drives because I was babysitting them. And some days I would drive 50 miles into little towns and all over the country. And I'm telling you, there was the hats, posters everywhere. And it was so funny because, you know, Patriots 7, little Liam, he was so excited about everything was the hat. And Super Gymnast got into it too. And we had so much fun doing this. And when he lost, they looked and said, how? When they found out he'd lost Illinois, how? We even went up past Peatone into other areas up there close to Chicago. And it's all the hat. Well, we know how. It happened because of you know what. And I'm not going to say it because I don't want the show to get cut down. But everyone here knows. You know, right, Janet? John? Stephanie? Oh, good to see you, Stephanie. How you feeling? Carrie, good to see you. Carrie, do you belong to our messenger page on Facebook? You need to get into one of our groups. Get Ron your information. He'll add it to his list, and he'll send you the live every time we do one. He'll send it where all you got to do is click on it. You're right there. He does it for many, many people. So if you can get us, a way to contact you, we'll gladly send it over to you, okay? Okay, I'm glad to hear that, Stephanie. But I want to back up the wagons here a little bit. And when I started to talk about the beds, they're testing 3 states for Tier 4B, but the beds, I've seen the hat several times on videos. Then you can tell it's not him, but I've seen him several times. You can do this. They're absolutely free. Ron got a phone call today.
No. I read something.
Oh, he read it. Where he could get his card for the beds. All we had to pay was shipping and handling. You're going to go to the redemption center. You're going to go to the bank. You're going to get all of this right then and there. I can't tell you guys what to do. I can tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait for my 800 number. I'm going to go there and I'm going to get the stuff. And then I'm going to give a list of the people that I want to get on it too. The same way everyone here that's going to go to the redemption center. See, I'm bummed out about the redemption center in a way because when we first got involved in this, it was always me and Ron going. We asked our brother Russ, will you go with us? No. So it was me and Ron. And now they're saying only one person can go. So it is what it is. But, just don't, please.
Well, I've heard you say 6 people.
Please don't pay any money to get a card. Even if it's just for shipping and handling. See, because, and here's my opinion of this. Why is it shipping and handling? Why can't they just send you a message and you can run a copy of your card? And you just take your card in and boom, they approves it. Now, I want to touch a subject here. It's about illegals. I know how I feel about illegals. When I heard what Sleepy was doing with illegals and knowing what I'm going through financially, knowing what Ron's going through, what a lot of people here is going through financially, and these illegals are coming in here and living like kings and queens. They're getting benefits from health, completely taken care of. They're getting cash given to them. They're giving money, coupons. I mean, they're living the life of the life. Why we struggle. Our taxpayers, the ones that should be getting it, we're struggling. But in that thing that I read a little bit ago, it said the beds will be open to every legal citizen of the United States. Every legal citizen of the United States. Well, remember, hospitals, when we go to this, are not going to be like they are now. There's not going to be doctors that you can go to under the table and get healthy. There's not going to be people giving these illegals the opportunity to shine while we struggle. So in order for them to get care, to get healthy, they've got to be legal. So, the Dems, or the dummies like I like to call them, they're in a situation where they protect them all. But they're not going to be in that situation much longer. That's just my viewpoint on it. I don't know.
I'm a frog. Yes, a horse.
I'm going to read what Bruce had to say last night if I can find it here. Shouldn't have no trouble.
Trouble. What? Trouble.
I didn't have my compadre last night, Marianne. Happy anniversary to Marianne, guys. If you want to wish her a happy anniversary, I don't know what day it is, but she sent me a message saying that she was going to be out of town this week. It's her and her husband's 34th wedding anniversary. As the song said, where did all the young boys and young girls go, right?
I
So-
don't know.
Bruce last night says yesterday morning from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., there was a conference call with the banks from the Treasury. They were talking about banks that had branches going away because they were not Basel III compliant. As a deadline, and the deadline was 17 October, several banks that were secondary banks are being removed, not being compliant, and some were not QFS compliant. And there were some banks that we had caught shorter silver. We will see cleaning out of certain banking branches as we go forward. At 8:20 p.m. last night, bondholders started to be paid out. It was primarily going on intentionally out of Geneva, was paying certain international bondholders yesterday through today. Then at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, our USA bondholders were to be paid out over the next 4 days from Tuesday to Friday. There is a cleanup involved in the process out of Reno. International bonds handed out of Geneva and others out of Reno. No one gets access. Now, listen to this. No one gets access to their funds until we can get access to our funds, and that's Tier 4B. There is a tendency to get lined up at the same time. The bondholders in our country being paid out was the largest to the smallest accounts. Tier 3 bondholders were from the largest to the smallest on Friday. They will get emails what day they will get access to those funds. We were hearing from 2 to 3 sources that we should get notified for our 800 numbers tomorrow or Thursday. So we just never know what did not get increase in social, why we did not get increase in Social Security at this month. Is it possible we still can? Bruce was under the assumption that maybe since there's 5 Wednesdays in this month, that the final one that will be paying no one, they will pay everybody our Social Security benefit. We have also been told that exchanges will take place this month in October, and this week looks very good. We are still looking for Doge in a combination with R&R tariff dividends, and no one has said that it is on for the month. Today, we were told to keep our eyes out for the EBS alerts because Bruce thinks that legacy media satellites are being taken over and controlled by the military, those putting out incorrect news for years and years. It could be the beginning of exposure of military doing accurate news. We will see what happens. No time, no notifications on Thursday. Bruce is actually hoping that Thursday is a celebration call. Even if it is, I don't think I celebrate with him. It's a situation that when you listen to Bruce talk, he has a tremendous lot of currency. Sue has a tremendous lot. Bob has a tremendous lot.
No.
But last night their show was an hour and 40 minutes, of which Bruce was what, 6 minutes and a few seconds, not many. 6 minutes and a few seconds. They made people stay there for an hour and 40 to get that little bit of information. He has no concern for his followers. All he cares about is money, 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 money. Sue will go for an hour, and after Sue talks for an hour, Bruce has to give a recap of what Sue says. Bob talked for about 30 minutes, or about 20 minutes. Bruce give about a 12-minute recap about how great the products. Okay, Bruce talks about in his show last night about how great the products are and how he's going to continue using them even after he's on the bed, even after he's done his stuff with the beds. Why? I'm going to predict right now that these products won't even exist. If they do, they'll give them to you. If they're really that good, they will literally give them to you. Because remember, hospitals are not going to be like they are now. A hospital is just going to be something that has beds in them. So it takes 3 months from the guaranteed time that we've been given from January 1, 2026. Now we may go into a new calendar, but if we stay in the same one, that means on April 1, 2026, I feel that everybody will have already been on these beds in the United States and probably the world. So what are we going to do with these doctors? What are we going to do with these nurses? My thing is, and what I'm going to push when I talk to them up at the Redemption Center to see if I can get a little bit of influence, you go into the doctor. What is one of the last things the doctor says to you before you leave? I want to see you in 6 months. I want to see you in a year. In the meantime, I want you to do this. I think once everybody's been through these beds, that's what's going to happen. You're going to be told in 6 months, maybe 9 months, maybe a year, that they want you to come back. And then they're going to have their patients. But these doctors need jobs too. Remember, certain age you have to work until. Don't have to work long hours, but what would it be? I go in whenever I get to say I go in December. 6 months from there, I go back in. All I got to do is lay in bed one. They will scan me and they will let me know 100%. But what if something did happen now? And and as Bruce talked about last night, guys. Yeah. Well, Ron brought up what happens if you break a leg. You could break an arm. I got shoulder problem. What happens if you re-injure yourself? Because you're still going to have sports. You're still going to have kids. So, yes, I can see this. But I was talking around watching a ball game, before the playoffs started and that, but we was watching a White Sox game one night. And one of our guys got hurt. And it took him almost a month to recuperate. One of the guys got hurt and missed the last 2.5 months of the season with a strain growing. Now, if you never had a strain growing, they hurt. They hurt. But with these beds, and I look for every sporting event place because I know people's going to say, oh, sports stinks the way they're doing things. And I couldn't agree with you more. But I think there's a guy used to wear number 34 for the Chicago Bears. There's a guy out in California that used to play for the Lakers. There's golfers that used to be my favorite. There's football people. One of them was in the military and never came home, supposedly. So I think these people know too much. The way they play now is going to be gone. But until football, until any of it, I mean, you can bet on every play. In baseball, you can bet on every pitch. Do you really think the umpires, the referees are going to, it's funny. In football, the Detroit Lions played the Kansas City Cheaters. The whole game, they never had one penalty on Kansas City Cheaters. Not one penalty. Detroit complained about it. The officials of the referees looked into it and said, "You're right. That was a penalty and it wasn't called." Not one penalty. On 2 occasions, they called penalties on Kansas City, and their quarterback went up to the referees, and when he got done talking to them, when they told what the penalty was, it says, "The flag has been picked up. There was no penalty on the play." And guys, if you're from Kansas City, anybody here, I'm just reporting what I'm seeing. I could care less about the Kansas City team, but they're going to clean this up because I wanted to continue with this. Detroit played Monday night on football. The very first play, kickoff, when Detroit kicked off to the other team, nice run back, got it to the 45. Penalty on the other team for holding. Not one penalty on Kansas City the whole game, the very first time. Every time the team that Detroit was playing the other night made a nice play, call back for penalty. 5 different times. They showed the penalties. Nothing. In a Bears game a while back, we got a touchdown. The Bears got a touchdown. We was flagged because our offensive tackle was not lined up on the line of scrimmage. But when they drew the line behind all of the offensive linemen, he was fine. But you can't replay that. There's so much cheating going on in the NFL, it's ridiculous. I believe a man named Peyton is going to come back and tell a lot of stories. I believe a man named Kobe is going to come back in baseball and tell a lot of stories. There's baseball guys too, I believe, is going to come back. You're going to see the sports survive. But I want to talk to John for a moment. John's got 4 grandchildren. John, if you was wanting to take him to a professional baseball game, can you afford it? And the answer is no. But you're going to have money now, so you can. And maybe they'll want to go, maybe they won't. One of my dreams is when we go to the Redemption Center, I'm hoping to get enough money to invest in the Chicago White Sox if they clean the mess up. But also one of the things and my investment may just be about 2,500 kids a game with enough people, have them bust in, 2,500 kids a game. Give them a free T-shirt and a free hat and a $25 or $30 voucher that they can get something to eat and drink. Every game, every home game, that's what I want to do. Because I want to see the kids get the love of baseball, the love that I had. My grandson laying right here on the floor, acting goofy.
Hey!
I heard that too.
With that being said, I want to be able to take him to a ball game whenever I want to go. I want people to be able to take their kids to ball games whenever they want to go. But even some of those people who they're not involved in sports, we can still bust their kids in with people that will watch them, and we'll go from there. That's where I think we're really going to hit it. I really believe that. Guys, I've had a good time tonight. I did not think I'd go this long, but for some reason when I get talking to you guys, I get inspirational, and I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you enjoyed your chats over here, and everybody's doing good. As we speak, we have 96 people. I was hoping we make the 100, and we may have. Okay, who's we got here? Oh, Dwayne. Have you ever noticed when someone new comes in and we don't recognize the name, they always get put in timeout? I'm assuming that was you, Janet, to put them in timeout. So I can sit here and do my show. I don't have to worry about what's going on over here because with Janet and the rest of my moderators, man, I don't have to worry at all. Ella told me to tell you hi, Janet. So for the person who, and I'm sorry I forgot your name, but if you can get in touch with me or get in one of our groups or do something, we will gladly get the show out to you every night. We do a show or in the daytime.
Patriot 5 and Patriot 6, I send it to there every night, every time.
Well, yeah, it like I said, if you belong to our messenger group, he sends it there every night that we do a show. But I mean, we can work something out to make sure you get it on time. We love having everyone here, and we will talk to you later. Have a great night. You got anything you want to say, little man? Just tell him good night. Tell him good night.
Good night. We have dinner now.
What?
We
We
have
have
dinner.
dinner.
You're happier now?